Hi guys, welcome back to our podcast. Our second episode of No Boys Allowed podcast. That was so awkward. But today's
Thank you for
topic
joining
is
us. Breakups. All
We
right.
have a good breakup.
We have a few good questions. Well, we're very experienced on breakups, unfortunately.
very, very
So, what do you guys
experienced.
think is the worst part about a breakup?
I think it's like feeling lonely afterwards because you always have that person next to you, or you always talk to that person. You know, you always have that person there. You get off work, you call them. You're going to the mall, you call them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you two break up, it's like, who do I have to call? It's just like, a little bit lonely. I think that's the part that kind of hits. But what do you have to say,
I
guys?
feel like, well, for me, because you had like a decent breakup.
Yeah, I had a good. It was like a good.
Like you guys
Yeah.
both decided, right?
Yeah.
Because for me, my experience, they always do something really shitty. So me having to like heal on my own, that's the hard part for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always get played bad. And then so me having to deal with that and then get over it and then tell them to like, fuck off basically is
Mm-hmm.
hard.
Actually,
That requires like a lot of healing.
I've never had a breakup that I've cared about.
What?
Yeah, like I've never been hurt by a breakup. But
What's
actually,
it like?
just kidding. Just kidding. When I broke up with
Menifee?
Menifee? Oh well, when we didn't break up, when we had like our little like whatever, our final like we're not talking anymore. Um, I think the hard part was for me that just like wondering because okay, I think the hard part for me was like trying to make peace with each other because I remember we call like I don't know what it was. I think he texted me, right? I told you guys that he texted me.
He texted you a lot of times.
Yeah. Well, that one time that he texted me and I called him and I was like, "Oh, I love you," and he was like, "I know."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that felt like such a long time ago.
Yeah. It has been a really long. It's been like
Almost like a year, huh?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Last I found out, he was with somebody. But I think that was like kind of like the only time that I've had like a bad like experience with like letting go of someone.
Breakup.
Yeah, because it just seemed like he was around for a really long time in my life, so he kind of like knew what kind of person I was and what kind of person I wasn't. So it was just kind of like hard to let go because I was like, man, like I'm gonna have to get used to someone new, and they're gonna have to get used to knowing who I am, and like getting to know these little things about me from my past. And then I did notice that whenever I would start kind of like dating someone new, and we would talk about our past, it was just kind of like, ugh, like I hate repeating these things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, I did get over it, and it was kind of more like I looked at the positives, and I was like, I can kind of like be a new version of myself, you know, like an upgrade. Like, you know, like that's not no reason. Like I was holding myself back from like all this potential I had, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy that.
That's a big.
Yeah,
That's a
dude,
big
you were
thing.
stuck in that cycle for a while. For
I was stuck. I was stuck.
years.
Yeah, with him, I was like the same person over and over again. But as soon as I let go of it, I was like, wow, like, you know, to him, I was always the same person. But I was actually growing a lot, like, outside of that relationship and, like, becoming, like, a better version of myself every day. And he just kind of, like, saw the same person, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
But I guess that leads me to my next question. Like, how do you deal with talking to somebody every day and then just not at all? I feel like that's also a
I
really
feel
hard
like it's
thing.
just. I feel like it's just the process. Obviously, like you guys already know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
relationship for years, and then after that, I was just like, oh my god, like this guy was my person. He was my best friend. I did everything with him. You know, I started dating him in high school. At the end of junior year, senior year, I kind of like grew into my adulthood with him,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden it was like gone. So then I was just like, oh my god, like what am I gonna do? Like I don't really have that many friends because my mom always told me like you always want to have obviously your boyfriend, but you always want to have friends on the side because you know friendships. I feel like friendships last more than relationships sometimes, or you know what I mean, like boyfriends, whatever. But wait, what was your question?
How do you deal with talking to somebody every day and then just not at all after a
It's
breakup?
just a process, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just I don't even know how to answer that. To be
I feel
honest.
like that's why you guys helped me a lot after I stopped talking to like this one guy. If I wouldn't have had you guys, I would have just been
That's true.
completely alone.
Yeah, you
So
guys helped me out a lot.
yeah, friends are definitely needed.
Yeah, and
A
friends like
support system.
us, because we have tough love. It's not like no, girl, no, you know, you
But
know.
It's okay, he'll come back.
And like
Or no, fuck him.
we tell each other like, no, dude, you're doing it wrong. Like, clear your head. Like, no, stop. Instead of just being like, no, I mean, like whatever you want, but I mean, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like having a support, like a friendship like that, is important.
but you guys do realize that that's the kind of love that we like, you know? There's other people out there that don't necessarily like to be talked to the way we talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's some people
Yeah.
that like want to be spoken to soft. And by all means that, you know, like it is right sometimes to give someone tough love, but it's also true that some people like need a different type of love to like grow and develop, you know?
That's
Mhm.
true.
Like we're kind of more, I've noticed the type of people that we are, and we're a little bit tough. So we can take it. We can take it, and we can definitely like, you know, grow from that, you know?
Yeah.
But there's some people that are so new and gentle to the world that if you tell them stuff
Nah.
like that, they won't like. It'll go one ear and out the other, and they like
Ugh,
won't
I've
grasp
met
what
people
you're
like
telling.
that.
Yeah,
I've met
It's
people like that
annoying though.
because they
Because
keep
they don't
coming
listen.
back. They keep coming
Yeah.
back with like, he didn't do this, this, and that, and I'm like, isn't this the same exact problem that you dealt with last time?
Mm-hmm.
Like I already told you once, I'm not gonna tell you again. But we actually listen to each other sometimes. We get mad at each other sometimes. Like that one time during FaceTime.
That was the only time that I think
Yeah,
we ever got
we were
used
so. We didn't even get.
Well, you guys
We
got
weren't
upset.
even that mad. I mean, we didn't get like super
I think
upset,
I
but
was
we were
just
just like,
hurt.
You guys are just disappointed.
I was a little hurt. Like I could
yeah,
take it
dude.
in my heart.
We live and we learn.
But
Yeah,
Now
we
he's
do.
blocked that guy. He's blocked on everything.
but I think definitely having good
I was.
friends who understand,
Yeah.
you know, how you can transition from that. Like I think it's up to you too to let your friends know. Like I think, you know, you did that too. You let us know like, hey, like, you know, like I'm not doing very well, like can I call you guys? And we were always like, yeah, you know, like call us now, or you know, like, or even I think you were still in school when it was going on, so we were telling you like, dude, like do your stuff, and then afterwards, you know, let it all out.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because I remember we were like, no, dude, like finish your homework right after you're
No, I
done.
remember you told me one time when I was like really going through it. You were like, take at least like 15-minute break, cry it out, let it all out, but just know that after that, get your shit done. Just go back to work.
Yeah, because
And then honestly, I did that and it helped.
yeah, because a breakup, yeah, it's gonna be like a little bump, you know, you're gonna get over it, but your future,
Mm-hmm.
that's forever.
Like
Like,
I remember I was struggling. Like I couldn't get my work done. I couldn't do shit because I was just crying. And I was like, you know what, fuck
Yeah.
this. I'm just gonna stop for a moment, breathe, cry it out, and then get back to work. Cause fuck that guy. He ain't gonna do shit for me.
See, the only permanent thing in your life is yourself.
yeah.
Facts.
like you have to
So
take care of yourself before like
always, and that's what I learned too. I always thought of others before myself, but now, hinge. Now I think about myself a lot
Yourself
and what I
first.
want to do.
Good. Yay. No, yeah, but that's, I think
Yeah.
it's really important to have that support group and a group of friends. That's why I feel like those type of girls who, when they get a boyfriend, they like forget about their friends completely. That's very unhealthy too.
Yeah, but that's just like
I was
unhealthy.
one of those girls.
Self, like like
Yeah,
you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
yeah. But I was one of those girls, but I was immature then. I don't have like
You
I have a
weren't.
different mentality.
You weren't like that
You
because
weren't like that.
you put an effort to hang out with us and talk to us.
I'm talking about like high school, like when I first started like going out with him.
Hmm.
But that was like high school, But I was still like a little immature. But yeah, no, when I met you guys, I tried.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I was like,
I remember because you would tell us like, I don't really have a lot of girlfriends. We should hang out, and I'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
yeah.
Me only having you two.
Aww, that was so
You
cute.
have Alina.
Yeah, I have Alina, Alexa, and Ale. I have a couple. Like I have girlfriends, but I don't have girlfriends the way I have
Like a group of
Alina,
girls.
guys. Yeah,
I don't have that either. I don't have a
like I
group
have
of-
individual
except us.
girlfriends.
Yeah, me too. I only have you guys, like a group. Not really a group, but you guys.
Trio.
I feel like I only have like a good 5 friends.
Yeah.
Like you two, Molly, my friend Maddie, and my friend Mackenzie. Anyways,
Let's see. What's the other question? I forgot about him. My phone died. You guys are gonna have to check.
I'll ask.
Where's my charger?
okay.
Ooh. There's so many good ones. I don't know which one to ask. Which one was the last one we asked? How
do you deal with talking to somebody every day and then not at all?
Okay.
What's dirty?
How do you know the relationship is over?
What'd you say?
How do you know the relationship is over?
When you start distancing yourself.
When they ghost you?
Oh.
Usually I become unattracted.
Oh, well,
Unattracted to them?
for me, I start distancing myself.
Okay, well, there's 2 cases. Because for me, most of the time I get ghosted, which is so shitty. I don't know why you guys always do that to me. Like, fuck.
That's so weird.
It's so mean.
It's mean too. Like, why? All of a sudden.
I don't
Are
fucking
you
know.
serious right now?
Yeah, dude. I remember I was counting one time, and I came to the conclusion that I've been ghosted 5 times.
What? Are you
Yeah.
serious? Like,
I'm being dead serious.
how does that even happen?
They just stopped talking to me.
I'm like, why?
One time, this guy ghosted me because he got a girlfriend. Yeah. And then this other time, this guy ghosted me because he started dating my friend, which you guys know about. This other time, this guy ghosted me. This guy was like a consistent ghoster with me. If that makes
I
sense.
know.
You know the
who it
one?
is.
Yeah. Like he would talk to me for like a few months and then ghost me. And he would come
Twitter
back.
guy, right?
Yeah. And I would let him come back. And then he would ghost me again. That happened like 3 or 4 times. And then at the end, he was just like, oh, it's because I was never ready for commitment, but now I am, I promise. And I was like, fuck you. Like, yeah. I was like, fuck you. What the fuck? Why weren't you ready? Like, why bother me if you weren't ready? But it was also kind of my fault because I didn't know how to set boundaries.
You bother me when you know you don't.
Exactly.
You got a woman. Sorry.
But yeah, so that guy did that to me so many times. And I had other ones, but I forgot. But I remember
irrelevant.
Yeah, I forgot, but I came to the conclusion that it was 5 times.
Wow.
Anyway, other than that, this other guy, the one that I dated for about 8 months, I knew it was over with him because I just like everything he did grossed me out, and everything he did was just so annoying. Like slowly, I was just like, "But why are you sitting so close to me?" Or like, "Why are you breathing like that?" Like everything would
Why
give
do you
me.
smell like that? Why do you have that
Because
nose?
your
Like,
fucking forehead is so big. Why is your hairline receding
yeah.
already? Yeah. So
Dang.
Like, why do you
everything.
like carrots? No, honestly, okay. I think for me, I just know it's over, but I still entertain it. Does
I
that
can't
make
do
sense?
that. Yeah.
Like, I'll just be like, whatever. Like, I already know I'm not attracted to them, and I don't want to be with them. I don't want to be around them, but aquí estoy.
What? Why?
That's happened to me like 2, 3 times. I don't know. I just get like comfortable with a person. Like, I still want to be
Oh my
friends. Like,
That
god.
makes sense.
yeah. Like, I just want. I've always been that type of person where I still want to like be friends, but I'll just like I don't know how to like I never really wanted to date them in the first place. I just wanted to be friends, and now that I started dating them, and then like I was attracted to them for maybe like a week or two, and then after that I get over it. I'm like, yeah, I never wanted to date you. It is not the deal.
Wow.
That's never happened to you guys?
Mm-mm.
Girl, I've only had one relationship.
Well, I mean,
Not even like
I'm not talking about
dating.
relationships. I'm talking about like
Like dating.
dating or like talking to someone where you just know it's like over. That like relationship dynamic, like it's like
Oh.
not
Yeah.
gonna work out.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. No, yeah. I entertain it
Yeah.
too. I'm like, I'm
I
But
don't. I can't do that. As soon as I get annoyed with somebody, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm done with you.
because honestly, I don't really keep up people around me that because that's the one thing I have noticed that when I'm dating someone, I like them for who they are as a person. So I
have you
become
noticed?
friends with them first. And I kind of like, like we joke around. I like having fun. And then if it turns into something more, then sometimes I'll let it go on into like grow into that. But sometimes when we're in that, I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm not feeling this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like, oh, I don't think I liked you like that. Like, I think I just liked you as a friend, but we're already here. You're already taking me on dates. Like,
I
let's see
get
where it
the, I
Oh
get
goes.
my
the ick.
god, Jen,
No,
that's so
well,
mean.
Yeah. No, I don't mean it in a bad way. Like, I really wanted to like him, but I didn't realize I didn't.
Yeah. No, that makes
oh my
sense.
god, I'm the same way. Like, I get the ick, and I'm like, like I really want to give this guy a chance. He's like super nice. He takes me out, whatever. Then I'm just like, and when he's texting me constantly, I'm like,
It's annoying.
it's annoying. I'm just like,
Oh, you see, I don't
Overwhelming.
really. It's because I've never been. That's another thing too. I'm never like too lovey dovey with them either. Like I'm always treat. Maybe that's my problem. I'm too friendly to people, and I like accidentally friend zone them. It's because I always wanted to be friends with somebody. Like I wanted my partner to be like a friend first,
Uh-huh.
and so
Oh.
it always gets
yeah.
like messy. Like
Mhm.
the person always thinks like I'm friend zoning them or that I'm like just their friend.
Giving them mixed signals.
Yeah, but in reality, I just wanted you to be my best friend and my boo thing. Like,
Ugh. Especially when they're like freaking super quirky and like I don't even know how to say that.
Me?
They're like
corny.
no corny. Yes, when
Oh,
they're
I
corny,
don't like that in
I'm
some
like
people.
I go on a date with this guy. Oh my god, never mind.
No, tell it. Tell it.
You're already halfway there.
I want to
It's weird.
know.
I'm so mean.
It's okay.
I want to.
No, it happens to all
I
of
want
us.
to
So
date, but I'm
sometimes,
so red. I want to date.
can I
This
tell
is
you
my
guys something?
girlfriend.
Um, I've heard that you guys know how some people say, "Oh, it's because he's too nice. That's why I don't want to date him."
Uh-huh.
it doesn't even necessarily mean that like, oh, he's too corny, he's too nice. It just means that as feminine beings, like, did I say that right? We want someone who's gonna like have more of a masculine,
Oh yeah,
energy. Yeah.
like somebody that's gonna be
true.
like our equal and like let us
Someone that's
be.
mean. I'm just kidding.
So if you're too like,
Someone that puts us in our place.
if you're too
Yeah.
you know, like if
Yeah.
you're too like if I could boss you around, I'm, you know, like if I'm paying the bills, it's not like I'm not gonna be okay. I'm not gonna be attracted to that.
I feel like maybe that's why it doesn't work out for me because I feel like I have a lot of like masculine energy. So I
Mhm.
clash with men a lot because I don't like to give them the upper hand.
My friend told me that once too, like because I was talking to this guy.
Wait, can I tell my story really quick?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm on a date. On a date. It was mini golfing. I didn't even want to tell the dude. I did not like it. Anyways, we went mini golfing, and then I remembered this.
I already know what's coming.
Of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody when they go putt-putt golfing. And I
What?
was like, when they go like golfing,
Uh-huh.
and and I was like this, right? Like this.
Yeah.
He freaking comes behind me, and he like tries. He like puts his arm around me to show me how to do it, and I was like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm showing you how to golf, and I was like,
I already know
and
how.
I just started laughing so hard, and I was like, no, like I felt so mean, and I started laughing so hard, and he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm sorry, like this was so cheesy, but. And then I was like, do you remember that episode of Zach and Cody when so many golfing? And then yeah, I kind of felt bad afterwards, but it was just like,
Too corny.
dude, yeah, like I don't like that. I don't.
No,
like
me
that.
neither. I really don't. I don't know if you've seen those things on TikTok when they take a picture of like their hand in a fist and then they open it and they're like, "Oh, I'm sending you a
Yeah,
rose." Oh, the bee is carrying it. Like that shit is so corny.
stupid.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna say stupid. And I'm like, ew, are we in fucking middle school?
Ew.
Why are these grown ass?
Apparently, like, dude,
Like,
don't
I
joke
guess
around
it's
with me.
cute if that's like your love language, but for me, I was just like, cringe. I don't like that.
No, dude, I do not like that either. Like, just ignore me, please. Like,
I want a man to be like, what the fuck is that stupid shit? Get that shit out right now.
what is Fuzz say? You, yeah.
You're acting dumb as fuck right now.
Oh my god, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, can you say that to me again? Please? Can you be mean to me? Because I like that. But, anyways.
But you see, I don't think that would have been bad if he would have asked you, "Hey, you want me to teach you?"
Oh no, dude, that was
I
so
think it was just
bad.
the way he approached it that made you feel like, why are you like mansplaining?
I was like, I started laughing so hard, and he was like, why are you laughing? I'm like, dude, do you see yourself right now? Like, do you see what you're doing?
Oh my god.
But he was nice. But I feel like we haven't talked about how, how when you get broken up with?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't talked about, the person that broke up the relationship. Like, how they felt, you know? Because it's always like that side, like, oh yeah, like I got broken up with, like my heart, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never like, oh, like no one really talks about the other person's perspective. And I feel like that should be talked about too. How do I even start this?
Okay, so I've been broken up with, and I've done the breaking up with also.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
the way I broke up with somebody was like straight up, which I was just not feeling it anymore. Like
mhm.
I don't know what happened. Like I don't know, it just like changed. You know, I
Yeah.
just didn't have feelings, and then he noticed that because I didn't know how to
Oh.
bring it up for the longest time, and he noticed it that I was being different, and so he
Mhm.
brought it up, and he was like, "Oh well, if you want to break up, like why don't we just break up?" And I was just like, "Okay, like yeah, let's break up then. Like I don't want to do this anymore." And then he was like, "What the fuck? Are you serious?" He's like, I'm fucking hurt right now. Like I can't believe you just said that." And I was like, "Well, you said it. You brought it up, and that's how I feel. Like I'm sorry, you know." And I felt bad because like that man was like in love with me. He even told me like a few months into dating, "Oh, I want to tell you that I love you, but I feel like it's too soon." And I was like, "Oh, then don't say it." I was like, "Okay, just don't say it." And then at that point, I was already like not feeling him, so I was like, "Fuck, if I break up with
Right
him,"
when he said that?
that's when I was like starting to be like, I
Ooh.
don't know about this guy, you know. I
Do you
had
think it was too soon for him to tell you that?
definitely too soon.
How long
I
were you
think it
guys
was
together
like
for?
4 months into dating.
Oh.
Well, it's too soon
Oh.
for me, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Can we dig into that? Because people are gonna think about that and be like, "Oh, you're so mean." Like he was had, like you know.
But I
But
feel like that's love bombing, and that's not a good
Yeah.
thing.
doesn't it make you feel some type of like unsafe in this kind of way?
Yeah.
I think it just depends on the person too, like how you're feeling about them.
I think it just, I don't know. Some people,
I don't know, but it was just too much. Yeah, he was just like doing too much. And
Mhm.
then I just kind of like was like, okay, I need to take a step back, and I just didn't feel it. So I just broke up with him, and it was honestly like a weight off of my shoulders. I was like, fuck, finally, I got rid of this person. But for him, he was probably fucking hurt, or I don't know. So I've been told.
Yeah. Did you get over that really
I
quick
was over it within the next week.
already? Dang,
Yeah,
girl.
dude. I got over that shit quick. Because I was
Dang.
like already over it,
Yeah.
before I even broke up with him.
I felt like that was how I would tell people like I was already over it before I ever broke up, but now that I realize I was very much still in love with him when I broke up with him.
Yeah.
But the way I see it now, both of us are really bad in like our mental state. Like I don't know, I don't understand why we were fighting like so much. And it wasn't good for me, it wasn't good for him. And then I kind of just started distancing myself from him
Hmm.
because I felt like that love that we had wasn't there anymore. And I didn't want to be in a relationship where I was doing all of the work,
Yeah.
doing like trying to see him, trying to plan stuff. Like I just didn't want to be in a relationship like that. So I was still in love with him, and obviously it hurt
Hmm.
so bad. You guys already know. Freaking, it was really sad. But no, yeah, I broke up with him, and then still very sad after that.
And
I
I
think
felt
it,
like you
yeah,
tried to be very strong and act like, oh, it's fine. Like, whatever. But, like, you were still hurting a lot.
I was so. You
Yeah.
guys don't even know. Like I was crying so much, so much. I think I was crying for like a good 2 months, like straight, because it was just like so hard to let go of
Yeah.
someone that was my best friend. It wasn't just a relationship; it was a friendship too.
Hmm.
dude.
Especially when you guys grew up like, you literally grew up together from teenagers to adults.
Yeah, I've known him since elementary school.
Oh,
So
shit, really?
yeah, we went to the same school. We went to the same elementary, middle, and high school.
Dang. Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, that makes it a lot harder.
yeah, it was really hard. So no, but I feel like now I think it took me like a whole year. Well, I feel like I'm still healing, if I'm
Hmm.
being honest. Because when I would go on dates, I would always try to see him in those guys. Like, oh, does he have that quality like he did? or stuff like that. So then now I haven't been dating anyone for a couple months because I took a step back and I'm like, nah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Comparing everyone to him, like, it's not gonna do good for me. It's not gonna do good for them.
Wait,
How
how long
about
were you
Jen?
guys together again? I know.
Huh?
How long were you guys together again? Like 5 years?
It was like 4 months. No, sorry, not 4 months. 4 years and like a couple months.
You said 4 months. I was like,
4 years and a couple months.
Oh shit.
can I
Wow.
tell you guys something that goes back to that? Going back to like how we weren't really together, but we weren't really like not together.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I kept bringing it up, like, and it was kind of my way of like processing that we weren't gonna be anything anymore, like that I had to let go of him. Because I remember, like, I think I pretty much like sabotaged our relationship because, or not sabotaged it, but like got us to kind of like stop talking because I would keep saying things like we don't even want the same things in life, or like what's gonna happen, like we don't even want the same things in life, we don't want like the same future, like, you know,
Like you
like
weren't living the moment. Like you were always like kind of worried about the future.
no, I like I understood that we weren't gonna have a future together, you know, like subconsciously I knew, but in the moment I was so like, I like, you know, like this wasn't like my person, so I was just like so like I would just like, it would worry me, but I wouldn't know how to like bring it up in the sense of like, we don't want the same things in life, I think it's best for us to go our own ways. I would just kind of bring it up in the like, you know, like what are we doing, like we want different things, like what are we doing.
Yeah.
I kind of, it was kind of like me pushing him to like push for that, okay, let's stop, you know.
So you were
I
saying things on purpose.
Yeah, kind of
I
like
like
I
that
would
shit.
repeatedly do it so many times, like whenever we would see each other, just kind of like ask like what are we doing, like we don't even want the same things in life, or like, or you know, like just basically bring up the different types of futures that we wanted, or the how I saw myself in the future. Like I would tell him, oh, I see myself doing this and this, and I never like I would tell him like how I would see my, and it never involved him.
Damn.
Yeah, like I would say it out loud, you know, like,
Dang.
yeah.
You were
But
for real just entertaining it just because.
no. I think it was my way of like coping with like, because I was like, I loved him, but I was very much like my, like me personally, I knew like this is not your person, you know, like subconsciously I knew, but I was just, like, my heart was just like, logically I knew, but like my heart just wanted it so to work out so bad, you know. So I
Yeah.
would express it. Cause don't get me wrong, yeah, I would say sometimes like, you know, like, oh, like this is how I see myself in the future. Like, how do you see yourself in the future? But there was days where I would see like cute little stuff, and I'd be like, oh my god, there's gonna be us in the future, huh? And he'd be like, yeah, you know.
Damn.
And we'd be like, oh my god, that's so cute. Like we're gonna have like, you know, like we're not gonna have kids. We're gonna be like all lovey dovey, and like the uncles and aunt of the, you know, like, cause you guys know I didn't want kids before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That's
So you went from
crazy.
not wanting to have kids with this person to for
Wanting
sure
kids.
wanting kids with your current partner.
I think my current partner made me realize that I'm not the problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, having kids is more than just like, because when I would think about it back then, I would think about it like, oh my god, I don't want kids because it's gonna all fall on me. It's gonna be my responsibility. It's gonna be on my body. It's gonna be my financial struggle. You know, like I was so one minded. And this person that I'm currently with makes me think about it like, you're not alone. It's not just you.
Mm-hmm.
It's me, actually, you know,
You're
like,
gonna have somebody like to actually be there with you and doing it together,
yeah, like, I'm
like
happy, like,
partner.
the way he puts it is, I'm taking care of you, you know? Like,
I love
and
that.
so, but when I was with that press person, it was just more of like, oh my God, like, I don't want kids, like, it's gonna be all on me, like, and you guys have to remember that I come from having a single mother, you know?
Right.
Yeah, she has, like her family now, and like we have our family now with my dad, like my stepdad, and things have changed. But I very much grew up from the moment I was a kid to I don't know what age, like having a single mom. So I guess like in my head it was always that way.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
thought you were always going to be like doing your yourself like by yourself. Yeah, I can't forget.
I had kids all for
Yeah.
me.
Uh-huh.
And so with my past partner, I was just like, oh my God, like how cute, like we're gonna be like the aunts and uncles, like, but there was also days where I'd be like, I want a kid, like I do,
Just
like,
not with this person.
yeah, like, and I remember one time we were laying in bed and I was like, oh yeah, like I see myself like having like a kid, like adopted, like just me and the kid and like having our own life. And then I would like bring myself back to like reality, and I'd be like, oh, like, oh, like, like I was really comfortable
Wait a
and like
minute.
so in love with him, and then I was like, I'd be like, whoa, like I'd catch myself like, damn, like, like what's going on here, like subconsciously I would know all these things, but my heart would just it was so like attached to him that I just like I would change the things that
Yeah.
I wanted because of him instead
Mm-hmm.
of actually wanting what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, loving the right person changes you.
I think
Changes your
loving
perspective in
yourself.
life, especially.
I
I've
think
never
loving yourself.
experienced that.
Wait, can I go back? I think loving yourself changes you.
True.
Because if I
You
didn't
see?
love
Very true.
myself the way I love myself now,
Oh
I
yeah.
wouldn't I wouldn't have allowed this person to come into my life.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, for sure. 'Cause I feel like at one point I was still very closed off, but I feel like now that I've been working on myself so much, putting that good energy out, I've received it back like 10 times more.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
makes-
That makes sense.
I feel like I'm like my life's going good right now. Like so many good things are happening to me just because I feel
You've
like I'm
been
finally
working on
like
you.
happy. Yeah, I've been working on myself. I'm happy, like doing things for me and not like
I'm glad.
still thinking about this person that's holding me back, you know?
And that's what we need. We need to love ourselves before we can love someone else.
Mm.
You know? I feel like I am still. I mean, obviously, I just came out of a relationship. I'm still in the process of doing stuff for myself.
But also like loving yourself also makes you realize how much more like you
Your
deserve.
worth.
Yeah, like
Yep.
so
Yeah,
much.
and how much that
Yep.
person did not appreciate you.
Yep.
Yeah, like
That is so true.
and not only that, but some people come in your life and they might be very much like a soulmate to you, but they're not your person. You're your person,
Hmm.
like, gotta move on.
Yeah, some people really come into your life and like belittle you so much and like make you feel like shit that you just don't see the value in yourself anymore, which is really hard to get back also.
It's super hard. It's a process
Mm.
into getting it back.
So do you guys think that like self-love is the best way to get over a breakup?
Yep.
Or what is the best way to
Definitely.
get over a breakup?
I think working on yourself, honestly, 100%. Like I said before, the only permanent thing in your life is yourself. Might as well just work on yourself
Mm-hmm.
instead of trying to date, try to get over the person. Like you're not gonna better yourself. I mean, obviously you could have fun, whatever, do your thing, but if you're getting out of a relationship, I feel like just work on yourself right after. It'll make you feel good. It'll like what did my friend
I
say?
feel like that'll speed up the healing process a lot more than dating around.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And using other people to like suppress
Get
or
over.
pain.
Yeah. That's so true.
Because a lot of people I know, especially guys, I feel like right after a breakup, they take it as like a green light to just fuck bitches all the time or like talk to new people. And it's like, dude, relax. Like, what are you doing?
It's not a race.
Yeah.
It's not a race to get. Yeah, no. Self-love is the best kind of what? Medicine for breakup.
Love is energy.
What?
It's energy.
Wait,
Like,
what?
energy. Love is energy.
Oh, I heard energy.
I know. I heard love this energy. I was like, you know what? Me too. I love this energy right here.
Actually, I do love this energy. But I meant it as in like, like your energy is either good or bad. Like you're either in a good like mindset or you're in a bad mindset, and that all has to do with good energy or bad energy. And love is definitely like really good energy. Like it could really like, if you can love yourself the right way, you could definitely bring yourself into this type of like new like enlightenment of like good energy. Like,
I feel like, do you know the law of attraction? So like, you don't know, Massi? So basically, like, you get back what you put out. So you attract the same things that you're giving, basically, like into the universe.
Got it.
Yeah. So like, I feel like that's why if you have a lot of self-love or like good views in life and like a positive mindset, obviously like you're not going to be positive all the time.
Yeah.
You have to just be mindful of your feelings and all that stuff, deal with them in the healthiest way possible. But still like keeping that positive mindset, a positive view on life, and all of that good energy you get back too. And then you find somebody that feels the same way. Like the way you love yourself, you're gonna be able to find somebody that loves you as much.
Yeah. Oh.
So just something to think about.
It is. And I feel like, yeah, self-love, but like also that your partner loves themselves too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And not just like need
because
somebody
that's
to
just gonna
feed off
create a
of.
lot of insecurities. They get insecure, jealous, a bunch of stuff. But self-love is what's important.
Oh, I have a good question for the next podcast. Or should I ask it now?
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line from your partner is being insecure to your partner has self-respect?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's freaking hard.
Some people that will kind of like gaslight or like like manipulate you into thinking you're insecure.
I feel like when they're insecure, they project that onto you and make you feel like you're the problem. But when they have enough self-respect, I feel like they're not gonna be trying to make you feel like shit. It's just kind of like them setting boundaries. And it's like a different feeling. I don't know if that makes sense.
But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
When you tell someone like, "Oh, I don't really like that," and they'll be like, "Oh my god, you're being so insecure right now." I know that happens to a lot of high schoolers, like new little relationships. You know what I mean? Because I remember that happened to me in high school too. And I hear a lot of the kids that I work with, and it kind of happens to them too. And like, like just hearing my kids talk about that at work when I'm at work, like hearing them talk about their relationships, and I'm like, am I being insecure? Like, am I being toxic? And I'd be like, no.
Like what? Give an example.
Like little kid drama, right?
Like liking girls' pictures on Instagram and stuff.
Like I don't want to say their names. That's why. And like
say like
just give them fake names.
just say Manuel and
Maddie and Nate.
Maddie and Nate. Did you catch on, Jen?
Well,
I don't think she did.
one of the girls that was telling me, she was like, "Oh, you know, like there's these girls at school that I don't like," and she was like, "It's not that I don't like them because of who they are. It's just because I know the type of girls they can be. They might not be like that to me, but they're like that to other people, and I don't really like that. My boyfriend talks to them." And I was like, you know, like,
oh, okay.
I kind of get, like,
I get that. So it's not like she doesn't trust him or herself, but she doesn't trust them, those girls. Yeah. Okay. No,
and I was like, you know what? Like, this is kind of like, that's not. And she's like, oh, I think another girl like heard that conversation, and she was like, oh my god, like, I'm toxic like that too. I don't want my man talking to any girls. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
toxic?
Nah, that's a different mindset though.
Yeah. But to them, they're still getting to know their boundaries and like getting to like explore, you know. And I feel like a lot of our audience is in that younger era where they don't understand like the difference between being toxic and the difference between like setting boundaries. If you clearly know, like you can get a hunch from people when they're not good.
Learn to trust your gut.
Yeah, learn to trust your gut. Let me tell you, because
your gut is always right.
Dude, and like
it really is.
It really is.
Yeah. Oh man, the times that the amount of times that I've gotten like a feeling, and automatically something happens, and I'll be like, you know, like this.
The way I could have saved myself so much hurt if I just trusted myself. Like I had a feeling that one little stupid chihuahua looking kid was still talking to his ex, and I was right. I was right the whole time.
But you know, like so back to what I was saying, like you know, like I don't mean to be like I don't want to give my babies like the wrong, you know, like advice. Like how do you tell the difference between like, okay, I'm being insecure or toxic / manipulative to the point, like, you know?
I feel like it just takes a lot of work. Like you have to work on yourself a lot. Because it took me forever to establish my own boundaries. Like barely at my big grown age of 22 years old. But I'm like barely knowing.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how can we like, as older women, like,
damn, you sound so old.
Well, because that's the thing, you know, like I do want to help the girls.
Yeah.
Not just that, you know, like my babies, but like our audience, like people that are watching, like how can we help them, like, you know, like start like knowing what kind of boundaries you have, because every female is different. There's girls that will let you go out every weekend and do your own thing and like party and do whatever, and then there's other girls that will be like, why are you going out, you know, like with who, with why, with, like, you know.
Yeah.
And both can be unhealthy, you know, like both can be very unhealthy and both can be very like positive too. I think it just, you know, like it does depend on each person, but I mean, like, what are the questions you can ask yourself to like see, like, okay, like, you know, like, is this good, is this not good,
what's healthy and what's toxic?
Like how do you come to like build a boundary for yourself?
I feel like, well, for me, oh my god,
I'm on the podcast.
Oh shit!
Sorry. Oh, I love you.
Scared me so.
That just scared me too. But anyway, I feel like for me, it just took a lot of, I don't know, like I would let a lot of things slide that I wasn't okay with just because I wanted the other person to be happy.
Okay.
So I really needed to learn to like put myself first and express what I was feeling and not just be okay with everything because I wasn't okay with everything. So like guys blowing me off or like standing me up, I'd be like, oh, it's okay, just let me know when you're free. Like, thank you for letting me know. Instead of just being like, no, that was rude. I don't like that,
Mm-hmm.
and leaving at the first sign of disrespect instead of letting it
Yeah.
slide over and over again. I feel like that's what helped me establish my boundaries a lot.
Once they disrespect you, one time, they're gonna keep disrespecting you over and over and over and over
Mm-hmm.
again. That's
And
why
if you let,
whenever,
yeah,
yep, that's
if
why
you
you need
let
to
it
let it
go, it's just
stop.
gonna
Yeah,
escalate.
yep.
Yeah.
That's why you need to stop it that first time, so then
Mm-hmm.
you don't keep getting hurt again, and again.
Like, I'm not saying leave them right away if they do some fuck shit. Like, obviously people are gonna make mistakes, but like, just let them
Communication.
know that it's not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Communicate.
And if they do it again, then obviously they're
Communicate.
just being disrespectful. Like, they
Yeah.
don't care.
And if they're like, oh my god, I didn't know I made you feel that way, and then they did it again, that means they don't give a
Yeah,
fuck. They just don't care.
exactly. They just don't care.
Okay, so the process of building a boundary is through recognizing what it is that hurt you and communicating it clearly and very like in a short sentence, like this is what hurt me and why.
Mm-hmm. I think
This
so.
is why. And I think now that like as an adult, you don't just communicate boundaries with people that you're in relationships with. You communicate boundaries with, I mean, I communicate boundaries with my own mom.
Yeah.
There's certain things that she says that I don't like. And I also communicate boundaries with strangers sometimes. Like, hey, this is my job. This is what I'm doing. Like, it is what it is. That's one thing about my job where I had to talk to a lot of like angry parents after like school,
Same.
where it's just, oh,
Yeah, Vero.
yeah, Vero, but I feel like mine's is a little different from hers
Mm-hmm.
in the sense where like people think they can talk to me however they want. They don't really have that like kind of respect, and it's a lot
Yeah.
coming in and out, coming in and out. And so one thing that I've noticed is where I kind of like keep your calm, So if you ever do find yourself in a situation where like you have to kind of like something is like bugging you, like bothering you, hurting you, do your best to communicate that boundary and just sit there and process it, because something that I've learned is that people that change their lives are very like always communicating boundaries. Or
Mm-hmm.
some they don't even communicate boundaries. You already know them by the way they act and by the way they, present themselves and by the way that they are around you.
Yeah.
You
You
can
have to
get
really stand your ground.
yeah.
Also, yeah, being able to communicate effectively is a really big thing, because if you're trying to establish your boundaries and you come off as like mean or aggressive, they're gonna get defensive. So
Yeah.
you have to do it in like a really civilized manner,
Yeah.
so like they can respect you.
Control. Yeah, losing control of your emotions will make it not seem genuine.
Mm-hmm.
So, be the bigger person, hold your ground, like not everything has to turn into an argument or into a fight. And that comes with like loving yourself too, like, like yeah, sometimes we want to fight, but sometimes, like yeah, like don't bring yourself down to their level. Like what comes around goes around, like there like you kind of just have to like let go of it and be like, like amique, like they're gonna go through their own shit. They're clearly nowhere near like my level of mind. It's not
Yeah.
my job to get them to understand what I'm doing or what I'm thinking. If they're not grown like that, that's not my job to teach them.
Yep.
But sometimes, because that's why,
Mature too.
that's most of the time when we want to fight someone is because, oh, I want to teach this girl something. Like, you know, like, let me teach her, like, you know? But at the end of the day, you kind of have to remind yourself, it's not my job. I'm not her mom. I'm not her sister. I'm not, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not her mom.
I'm not her partner. Like, that's,
Yeah.
that person has nothing to do with me. Like, the best that I could do is remove them from my life if they're really not, like, respecting my boundaries.
Yeah. Best advice you could give.
Yeah. Damn, that conversation got,
It got pretty deep.
yeah.
We got some pretty good shit.
Yeah. So, next question, or do you guys want to end it here?
I think we should
We should end it here.
Okay. Because the next question I wanted to ask, so stay tuned, you guys, is why is communication so heavily requested but rarely used? Why can't we keep that same energy? I cut off?
Yes.
I just, yeah.
Why
It's
is,
okay. Oh.
why, why is communication so heavily requested but rarely used? Why can't we keep that same energy? So that's on our next.
Stay tuned.
Some hard
Thank you for
questions.
That's a good
listening.
question. I like that question.
Yeah. Join us next week to find the answer. Thank you for listening. Bye, everybody.
Bye.